Namaskaram. Welcome to South African Telugu Community Live from. We welcome you to the 11th episode of the show. South African Telugu community done a lot of charity initiatives, blood donation camps, clothes drive, and healthier artists from India. Today we have two special guests, talented artists, actors from Singapore entertainment industry. We have Indra Chandran, who's a former beauty pageant and talented actress from Singapore entertainment industry. And we have Anand, who's a model, who's an actor, and also a director, a multi-talented, versatile personality from the Singapore industry as well. Let's welcome them on to the show.
Hello,
Hello,
everybody.
Indra. Hello, Vishnu.
Hey, hi.
Hi, Lavanya.
Satala.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
And hi to the
So,
Telugu community and everyone else in South Africa.
yeah, we are
Are
immensely
we having a bit
proud
of a
to
lag?
have connected two different. Yes. So we are immensely proud in connecting two different entertainment industry in welcoming you to the show as well. Indra Chandran, so you were a former pageant, beauty pageant, you are a model and an actress and a very established personality. And Vishnu Anandh,
Yep.
you're a versatile an artist, an actor, director, and a model as well. Tell us about yourself. Over to you, Indra. So, how do you see yourself as being in the industry, and how are you looking into the days forward in terms of crisis now?
Well, I guess many would not know that the Indian entertainment industry in Singapore is actually quite big. You know, there are many Indian speaking, as in Tamil speaking people over here, and we are very cultured in that matter. Actually, even while having a conversation with you yesterday, Lavanya, you were quite surprised that we were very, very cultured and we are very much into the Indian culture. We have our own channel here, which is Vasandam, and that was the pageant that I actually joined many years ago and won, and that's how I actually entered the industry. So it's a channel of our own, which is our Tamil is actually our national language here. To you,
It's one of
Vishnu?
our
That's
official
lovely.
languages here. Yep,
That's
as
lovely.
you were
That's
saying,
lovely. Thank you.
Tamil is actually one of our official languages. We have 4 official languages. Our national language is language of origin here, Malay. They call it Bahasa Melayu. And amidst that, we have Mandarin, English, and Tamil as one of our other official languages. It's one of the main 4 languages in Singapore. And most of the Indian kids are actually educated in Tamil as their second language.
That's wonderful to hear. So, Vishnu, about yourself, tell me about yourself. How see this industry as? Do you see yourself to other areas where there is presence of Tamil entertainment?
Myself, okay, I'm a Singapore actor and host here. I actually started out as a host, as a presenter, then branched out into acting. And my base is from stage. I came from stage programs. When I was back in school, they call it Polytechnic here. I think there it's, I don't know what exactly it's called. But when I was in the Polytechnic days, I used to do some stage programs for the school. And I was a presenter and amateur actor. And my background is also media related. I studied communication, mass communication. So pretty much my life revolves around the media industry. And after that I went into the mainstream industry in Tamil, and I joined the Vasantham channel here, which is the national Indian channel for Singaporean Indians. And for about past 17 years, I've been with the channel as a presenter and actor. So, actively. I
Wow,
first
that's
made
wonderful.
my debut in 2000, and I was really bad, so I wasn't used to it. In 2003, I started becoming more active, and from 2003 onwards till now, I've been actively performing with the channel and a few other regional channels.
That's lovely. That's lovely. That's quite a journey, Vishnu. So, Indra, so tell us about yourself from pageant to being successful actress now. So, how has the journey?
Well, like I said, the pageant was was an accident actually. I didn't intend to be in this industry. It wasn't a childhood dream, but thereafter, after the pageant, right now it's the only thing that I know. And yeah, like Vishnu said, my life actually revolves around the whole artist industry. You see, the entertainment industry, and I have been in this industry for 14 years now. So after the pageant, there's been many serials. We call it drama over here. You see, since we have our own channel, it's a 24-hour channel, and we have a lot of programs on our channels. So there's a lot of opportunity for the artists to actually showcase their talents. And so right now, I can't even name how many programs we have done, me and Vishnu, and we have done a couple of programs together.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
And I think some of the
We're close
programs
friends
right
in the
now,
industry.
yeah, some of the programs are actually being showcased on ZTV right now, Z Tamil right now, the dramas.
That's amazing to know. So, tell us, how has the crisis right now impacted? I mean, how do you find yourself motivated during these times, and how do you reach out to give voice to the common people there? Yeah, through your influence.
So, Vishnu.
Okay, to be honest, pretty bad. I've been sitting down jobless at home for about 2 months. It just so happened that the last serial that I did before this, as she said, we call it long format dramas here. It ended just before the effects of COVID-19 actually took place in full force here, and here the lockdown is called a circuit breaker. So technically, it is a lockdown, like how it is called in other countries, but here it's been called a circuit breaker, and our circuit breaker came into effect on April 7th, I believe. So my last serial, the shoot for it, just ended before that. On April 5th, it ended. So ever since then, all the other jobs have been postponed. I was supposed to write a series that has been postponed. So I've just been sitting down and making good friends with my sofa and television ever since.
And as
Okay,
for
so
myself,
we look forward to a bright. Yes, Indra.
as
Yeah,
for
but
myself, there was a program that we were actually doing, and we had to actually stop the productions. And luckily, I think the production has been ready now, and it's going to go on air on the 15th onwards. It's actually a series of 5 short dramas, 5 short stories. So that's going to go on air. But like he said, the entertainment industry has been also hit very badly in Singapore, just like how it has been in India. So all the production has been stopped for the moment. And just like in India, we're actually trying to do programs from our own living room, like this program itself.
Mm.
So soon, I suppose things will go back to normal.
Mm. So these are
yep,
opportunities
and I'm
that
actually
opened
looking
up
forward to
during
that
the
series.
crisis, right? Yeah. Okay, that's lovely. That's lovely.
The series
So
that
tell us,
Indra just
yeah.
mentioned, long time, I think
Mm.
we're going to have some new content coming because in these past 2 months, mostly has been because there are no shoots. So what's happening with every other channel out
Mm.
there? We've been having retelecast content. So it's going to be a breath of fresh air when the new drama comes along. And I've seen the promos for it. Looks very good. It's very exciting. And yeah,
Okay.
today it just happened. So I did receive a text from the main person in the team, the director in the team. Maybe if all works out well, I might just be joining you guys.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it
Thank
looks
you.
like you both know each other for quite some time. So tell us about that. How did you both meet? And yeah, you seem to be good friends as well. I see that from your Facebook and all other media handles.
We are. Yeah,
Blood.
we are.
Do you
And
want to
so, how
start?
did that happen? Blood. Yeah, okay. We call each other fondly blood. It may seem a bit violent, blood, but you know, the reason being we used to host this show. That means we were anchors of a TV program, a health program, you see, and we talk about different illnesses and various healthy lifestyle techniques or things that we follow every other week. And there was once we actually had to give blood donation, right, Vishnu? We had to give blood donation, and we always will be dressed up in something looking very similar. You see, like twins. We
Yep.
were both of us were in a green top and a khaki bottom, both of us. So till then we became like the twins.
Yeah, the
It was what,
extended
10
story
years
goes
ago?
like, yeah, about 10 years ago. I think that was 2011, 9 years ago. The story goes something like this. When we were doing that program, we used to have this particular director, senior director in the industry, Mr. Ram Murugesh, and he used to always position us in shots very tight together. He always preferred his host to be like sticking together. So practically, when we are on shot, we are just beside each other. Both our shoulders rubbing just like that.
Siamese
So
twins.
ever since like that, we had this in joke running that we are Siamese twins. So from there, we became like the twins, and then we were like dressed up very similarly. So that twin in joke was running, and we just happened to go to the blood bank to donate blood during one of the episodes. And wow, guess what we found out? We found out we have the same blood group. We are
Wow,
both A
that's quite
positive
heartfelt. Yeah.
blood group holders. So from there, it just
Oh,
became
me
an in
too.
joke, calling each other A positive. Hi, we have a South African
Yes.
blood now. Yeah, so
Yeah.
from there, we just started calling each other blood. So that's how the story of us becoming this type was. And
Wow,
then
that's
after that,
lovely.
I think we just became very close buddies. I mean, apart from industry and all that, personally, we became very close friends. So we are always there for each other in all personal matters and celebrating each other's birthday, good or bad. We are there.
That's lovely. That's quite a bit of strong bond of friendship, I see. Uh, so tell us, Vishnu, about your first venture into the movies. You featured in the very first Tamil movie of Singapore. How was your experience? How did you end up there? How do you cherish those moments?
Uh, that's definitely a moment, memory to treasure and cherish. I would call it the milestone in my journey because as much as we have an active television industry in Singapore, our movie industry is still in its nascent stages. We're still trying to develop the
Mm,
movie industry, and most people are still connected to the movie industries of from overseas, like the Tamil Nadu movie industry, Bollywood, Hong Kong, Hollywood, and all that. So people haven't really started tuning into what we are presenting as local filmmakers, Singapore filmmakers. So that was a very ambitious move at that point of time, back in 2010, when someone decided to make a Singapore Tamil movie. Because till then, nobody had made a Tamil movie in Singapore. We didn't know how it's going to be received. So that I have to give full the maker of the movie, Mr. T.T. Dawamani. He received a grant from the Singapore Film Commission with his storyline. He gave, I believe, a full bound script, and that impressed the commission, and we were given an opportunity to make it length movie. And apart from that, I think he pumped in a lot of his personal finances as well to make it into a full-fledged quality Tamil movie. And yeah, the cast was fully made up of Singapore talents, and I don't think they left any stones unturned in trying to make it as much as a professional Tamil movie, something from the Tamil industry would be. So we gave our best in that, and I'm very grateful that I got the chance as the lead in that movie. I looked different back
yes.
then, Haven and all that. So don't think this Barbarian was acting. I look different then. So that was a huge thing. It went on to Malaysia as well, and it got released in India. But of course, India, there's so much of competition there with the mainstream actors. It wasn't very well received there. But in Malaysia, it was very well received, and I still have a lot of people from Malaysia who actually send messages over social media asking for copies of the movie or giving their compliments about the movie. Guru Kshetram, the
Wow.
title is Guru Kshetram 24, and that's like a milestone for entire Indian industry.
Okay, that's quite a journey. Very good to know about that. Indra, so tell us about your current project with ZTV.
ZTV, no, it's actually a local program. It's actually our local drama,
Okay.
which was bought by ZTV, just as how, we buy programs from India and so
Okay.
forth. So it was actually a
Okay.
drama made in Singapore, and I think now rest of now it's actually airing in ZTV. It's called Uire.
Okay.
It's about a family, and I've actually
Uire.
received many.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Uire, and I've actually received many messages on Insta and FB. You know, people from India and so on. I mean, it's quite nice that people are receiving it well, and people from there are actually starting
Yeah.
to recognize the artists over here because of the storyline. So if the
Mm.
the viewers, if you happen to have ZTV, do catch Uyire on Z channel. That is.
Definitely. Yes, yes. And you have also done a movie, Yellow
Yeah,
Bird,
do you
right?
guys
Tell us about that experience.
Sorry, Vishnu, you were saying?
receive Z Tamil in South Africa?
Yes, we
I just
do.
wanted to ask.
In South Africa,
Great. I hope you
yeah,
guys
or maybe on the internet.
could watch
Yes,
all these
yeah,
movies.
yeah.
Great.
Yes,
Right. Okay.
definitely.
So the movie
Indra,
that
so
I
tell us
did was
about your
Yellow Bird.
movie with, yeah. Mm.
Okay, it's called The Yellow Bird. It's actually a short film that was taken in Singapore. It's about an Indian guy who has struggled after being imprisoned. You know, his struggles of life actually. This movie was totally unexpected. The director was Raja Gopal. It's an English movie, but it's actually focused
Mm.
about an Indian guy based in Singapore. The you can see how Singapore life is like basically from that movie. You know, the struggles.
Wow.
How am I supposed to put it? Normally, they try to show the good things about life or about a country in a movie, but as for in this movie, you can see the struggles, the poverty side of Singapore. It was very interestingly done, and the best thing was we didn't expect it to go to Cannes. It did, the Cannes Film Festival. It actually
Wow.
was nominated for 5
Yes.
films, silver screens, Cannes, and so on,
Wow.
Southeast Asia films. So we totally did not expect it, and it ran in the theaters. And right now, it's on Netflix. I did a very controversial role in
Wow.
that
That's
actually as a drug addict.
Mhm.
So this is not how I look in that. One of the most
Okay.
challenging
That's
characters
quite
I've ever done
entertaining.
in my time.
That's lovely. So even Vishnu, in your last film, you did try some negative roles as well, right? As villain, and you even got awards for that.
Yeah,
Is she
series,
talking about Irwell?
not film, series.
Uh,
Yes.
yes.
I think she's talking about your. Okay, I think that's the biggest
Yeah.
award that I got as well. Yes, it was a negative role, but it just happened that the negative role was a main role in the drama series. So the two main roles being this writer called Sahana and her nemesis called Nanda,
Mm.
who actually has had a part to play in her past. And incidentally, the person who played Sahana, the hero of the drama series, was Indra.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So, I mean, the title Irver was actually based on the fact that it seems like being a writer, he writes fictitious stories, of course. This latest story that she's writing uh, somehow seems to have a lot to do with her own life. It becomes a reflection of her own life. So all the characters that she writes seem like a reality. So her protagonist in her story seems like a reflection of herself. The antagonist in her story, the villain in her story, seems like this particular Nanda that she's meeting in real life. The hero of her story seems
Mm.
like this person whom she met and fell in love with. And so everything seems like there's a dual personality, a fictitious one and a real one. So that's where the title Iruvar came in from. So from that, Iruvar became towards the end of the series, it became a different dimension. It became like Iruvar was both of us. This antagonist, protagonist, villain, hero, Nanda, Sahana, Beto. So that was a project that also tested us in a different way, professionally as well as personally. From friends, we had to stay away from each other to get the look and feel of it right. And yeah, I was very glad that Indra did that role and we were the Irver in that series. It was very well received in that particular edition of the awards that year. It walked away with the best drama series award as well.
Okay, that's
And if those
lovely.
watching this
So
program would like to catch that, they can actually catch that at Me Watch. It's still there. The series is on
me watch. Okay.
mewatch.com. Yeah, they can actually see the program there.
Okay. So tell us,
Yes, I think that
Indra. So
product
what do
that
you?
I would say. I'm sorry. Yes. I think we are cutting each other because of lag.
No,
I'm
no
so sorry.
problem. Go on,
If
Vishnu.
I would,
Yes.
if I would encourage the foreign audiences to watch, I think, I mean, not being boastful, but I think it's one of the best products that we have done here in Singapore. And yeah, please do watch if you can. That's something all of us, the entire team, is pretty proud of having produced.
Yeah, we'd definitely like to catch that. So, Vishnu, tell us about your director side of your experiments.
It's been some time since I directed because okay, honestly, truth to be told, they often end up seeing me more as an artist. So sometimes uh, they tend to like, oh, this guy is an artist. We don't look at him as a director. But yeah, I've directed a few programs. Past couple of years has been a bit dry. I haven't directed much. But before that, I've touched on quite a few programs. I started off with this. It just happened to be God's blessing that I started off with a pretty popular program called Uncle Taxi Enge Pogudu. So basically, Uncle, where's the taxi
Mm-hmm.
going? And that was a infotainment program, info educational program about the different locations in Singapore and a lot of unique things that people do not know about Singapore itself. So we went to every different neighborhood
Wow.
in Singapore, like a good 20, 30 neighborhoods, exploring the unknown sides of it. And it was very well received by the audience back then. And it went on to have 4 seasons. And the next season became a travelogue. From Singapore, we went on to Malaysia, which I did not direct. I did not direct season 2 and season 3. I came back for season 4, which was a travelogue in Indonesia and Thailand, and was titled Uncle Taxi Asia Pogudu. And thankfully,
Oh,
Uncle Taxi Asia Pogudu was an award winner in the award here as well. It won the Best Entertainment Program award back in 2012. And then from then, I've done a few different programs, docudramas, entertainment programs, kids series dramas, and I
oh,
helped program with Indra as the host as well. Hello, hello, Sugama. Um,
Yeah.
so that was the directing part of it. Of course, the director inside is itching a lot, hoping to come back. I've been doing quite a bit of writing the past few years. So yeah, hoping to return back to directing hopefully soon. And yeah, maybe a drama
yeah,
series
we look forward
to
to
appear
it.
coming. Yep,
Yes,
hopefully.
yes, we're definitely looking forward to it. Yes. So, Indra, tell us. So, what else do you? What are your hobbies like? What do you do other than being a model and actress? I think you also do a bit of RJing, right? A lot of RJing, actually.
Yeah, I used to do. I did, but not right now. As for hobbies, well, being at home right now because of this whole corona, the circuit breaker thing, the lockdown. Right now, hobbies. One of it is cooking.
Wow.
I'm trying to cook healthy food every other day. And of course, working out because there's nothing much we can do. We don't go out much. And you yourself, you are
Mm,
from Africa, right?
yes.
So how is the
I am
situation
from
over there?
India, and then I moved to South Africa. So
Hmm.
yeah, I have a tragic story to tell. Traveled to India in February, and I got stranded here since then. So I'm just glad that all my friends and almost family who are in South Africa are doing really well, and over in India as well, they are absolutely safe and healthy. So thank God for that.
So you have been stranded there since February.
Yes, yes, that's correct. So I have my family
So when
here,
can
so
you go back
it's
to
been
home?
going good. Yeah. We expect
Right.
to go
Lucky
back
for you.
when it eases down a bit. Yeah. So it's in India the cases are increasing. We want to mellow down a little bit and then maybe travel back. So tell
Well, I
us
guess it's a
how
sad
has
thing.
yeah. So Vishnu, tell us about your hobbies. What are you keen into? We did see a lot of your videos on singing. We see that you're trying your hands at that. You're quite good as well.
Uh,
I
that's
didn't know he
probably too
started
kind of
singing.
you. No, actually, not a lot of it. I just did one. I shall not horrify people with too much of that. But yeah, thankfully, people have been very kind. They said very kind things more than say nice things or compliments. I would just say it's kind things because they've been very nice to accept it and say such good things. Of course, I've always had an interest in it. Uh, I always wished I could sing well, but it's one of those things, we can always wish for it, but you don't know how well you're doing it. Uh, I've always envied and looked at people who can sing and dance in awe. Those are two things I never could do. And dance, that's like out of the question. I have two left legs. So I really suck at dancing. I can't dance to save my life. So at least singing, I thought maybe I could give it a try. And another thing about it is that 17 years in the industry, I think people have seen so many facets and have been seeing so much of me that I don't want them to get bored as well. They always say you have to reinvent yourself in some way. So maybe this was just an experiment to see, okay, how can I reinvent myself? Uh, what's next to do? So since I wasn't doing any producing or directing at the moment, so I just thought, like, let's just share people. So let's see how it works.
Okay, that's lovely. Would
I,
you like to
I,
sing two
I read
lines?
this. Oh God. Instead of singing two lines, maybe I would like to share this inspirational video that I happened to see yesterday. Um, this was something that related to what you talk about singing. I think a few of them might have seen. It was this inspirational video that was going out in Instagram and Facebook about eagles. Eagles apparently have a lifespan of about 75 years, but by the time they are 40, their beaks get blunt, their claws get blunt, their wings get weak. So it's very difficult for their survival henceforth. So when it touches around 35, 40 at midlife, the eagle actually takes a break and goes some mountain or somewhere and hits itself so hard on the beak that it breaks its own beak and it tears out its own feathers and claws and waits for the beak to actually grow back, for the feathers to actually grow back new. So this is the eagle's way of reinventing itself and renewing its lifespan so that it can soar for another 30 years of its lifespan. And
Wow,
I think as artists, it's very important for us as well because the audience at some
it's
point
real.
they can get. We are not Rajinikanth or Kamala Hassan for them to be seeing us for 50, 60 years. So at some point of time, I think it's important to reinvent ourselves or try new things. So this whole singing experiment was just part of that.
Okay,
So I
okay.
hope this whole
I,
long story that I told lets me escape from singing. Yeah, it was just to distract you all from
Good
that.
try.
no, you're
Thank
humble.
you.
Trust me, it was very good. I think it's well received.
Very kind
So
of you. Thank
Indra,
you.
tell us about your yes. So Indra, tell us about your role models. Who do you look up to in the industry and also in your personal life?
In the industry, well, I would have to say that I really look up to would be my mentors, of course, those who actually brought me into the industry, the directors who taught me to stand in front of a camera, which was Mr. Haider, Mr. Venga, and Mr. Kalaisa. They are the directors over here. So two of them were actually my pageant directors, Mr. Venga and Mr. Haider Ali. And Mr. Kalaisa was my first director on screen. So for a show actually. So well, these are my mentors. Apart from that, well, this may sound a bit cliche, but my role model would be, of course, my parents.
Oh,
Like every other kid, I look up to them.
Yeah, definitely. That goes without saying. Yeah. Vishnu, over to you.
Yes, role models.
Who do
Ah,
you?
ah,
Yes.
actually, there are a lot of them, so it's going to be quite a long list. Interestingly, I can't include my family in this. Like Indra said, yeah, in my personal life, yes, of course, mother has been a role model and all. But yeah, my parents have, or family, in fact, has nothing to do with the media industry. None of them were in the television or performing industry. So I can't mention any family members as a role model as far as work is concerned. So it's all industry people. Yeah, I have a polytechnic senior who was my first inspiration. It just happened to be his birthday 2 days ago, and I just put this long wish on Facebook about how he had initially inspired me to be part of the industry. Apart from that, there are a few industry seniors here who have been an inspiration. On the performing end, mainly two men, Mr. Buddy PVSS, Mr. Elamaran. They are performers. Mr. Maran is a host as well. Mr. Vadi is a actor and host, and he was one of my first few stage directors as well. So he kind of taught me the art of acting. And it so happened that I had the privilege and honor of once directing him. He was the hero in my first drama series that I directed, P6. So those two on the performing end. As a producer director, I was brought into the industry by one of the seniors in the industry as well, Miss Kalpana Ramalingam. So my gratitude for that. And the person who actually placed me on the map is the same person that Indra mentioned as well, Mr. V. Kalaichilvan. Mr. V. Kalaichilvan is like the godfather of the industry here. He's like the father of all fathers here. So this is the current senior most producer here, producer director here, and I am very glad to have gone through what they call as the Kalaichilvan Commando training here. It's like a guerrilla training. So once you pass out of Mr. Kalaichilvan's school, you are considered like a senior student here. So happened that some of my landmark programs were from Mr. Kalaichilvan. So I've been very lucky in that sense to be identified by him and put in some of his landmark programs. So I would say he's like a mentor for me in the industry. And apart from that, I think there are a lot more other role models in the international industry. Kamala Hassan, Shah Rukh Khan, Farhan Akhtar, um, who
Yeah.
else? Sylvester Stallone. So many of them. So all these people are a big
Yeah.
inspiration for me, especially the first three that I mentioned: Kamal, Shah Rukh Khan, and Farhan Akhtar.
Wonderful.
So, yep.
So it looks you learn. Yeah, you're a learning person. You have a curiosity to learn something from it.
Yes, I believe so. I think we have to. And
Yeah,
yeah, did I miss anyone? I know I missed out
that's
one
lovely.
more very important person in the list. I'm just trying to figure who. Ah, Christian Bale. Yes, I think that's one more
Oh
person who's
wow.
a
Yeah.
huge inspiration. Not even from his Batman series. I think the best piece of acting I've ever seen in my life would probably be Christian Bale's award-winning, Oscar-winning turn in The Fighter. He received the Best Supporting
Fighter.
Actor Oscar, and yeah, he was brilliant in The Fighter. I think that's the best acting I've seen in my life. So on the acting front, he's definitely an inspiration.
Definitely. So the way he turns into the character, sacrifices he makes is brilliant. You're right. So
Yeah,
Indra,
Christian Bale is mad.
I did that you meant. Yeah, he is. He sets such bar to everyone. I'm sure. Yeah. So Indra, so I hear you drive inspiration from your family. So I want to hear more about your family and how supportive are they in your. Uh, do you have some memories where they've gone out of the line and given you all that they can?
Well, my family is pretty small. My mom, my dad, and myself. My dad is no longer around. So it was my mom who actually forced me to go to the pageant. This is, I've been, I think, mentioning this in every other interview, but yeah, it was my mom who got me
Wow.
into the pageant actually, and she really wanted me to win even more than I did. And so I guess my mom is very much proud of where I am right now as an artist, even more than I am. So it's my mom who is the reason for where I am right now.
Wonderful, wonderful.
You
So,
see, the pageants
Vishnu,
over here
we
are
see
pretty
that
much
you're quite
different from the ones from
the
other
ones
pageants,
in.
because
Okay.
this is a yeah, because this is a TV pageant. I mean, it's a program as well. It ran
Mm,
for almost 6 months. You see, so
mm.
so it will be like you have live program every 2 week once, and so it's also a reality program, and so two girls will be eliminated in every program. So that's the way it goes. It's a really tiresome and stressful.
Competitive, yeah.
So, yes, it's more like a
And you started
reality
out in
program.
a
It's a
very small
competition.
age. That's nice. And that too, you were
Yeah,
young, really young.
yeah. And so my mom was actually
Inspiring,
there, really helping
inspiring.
me out in every other week. Yes, so that's the way I should be thanking her for giving me the encouragement all those times.
I think it all went really well then. Kudos to her.
And Indra happens to be
So,
the
Vishnu, tell us.
longest reigning Miss President in Singapore.
Oh, thanks.
Wow,
Yes.
lovely,
I think
lovely.
there was a reign of 5 years, longest reigning.
Yeah, we normally have the
So
pageant
you
every 2 year
rightly call her
once.
the queen.
Yeah, that's the reason why he
Yes,
calls me a queen.
that's right. I mean, rightfully so. She's a beauty queen, and rightfully so, she
Yeah,
should be called
rightfully
the
so.
queen.
She
So, yes,
earned it.
Oh
you
Yeah,
wow.
have the queen
so
right there.
yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. It's so nice to see you both support each other, and from the sounds of it, you both have worked in almost every second project together. It's quite a journey as friends and also as co-artists.
Been some time since we worked together, but of course, I hope to work together soon. It's always fun working with blood.
Yes.
All right. So Vishnu, you're quite multi-talented, I can say. Like you define yourself as an actor and director, and you're venturing into new things. So tell us, if someone would come to you and ask, "Who are you?" What would you describe yourself as? What role would you like to take on?
Describe myself. Truth to be told, I think I'll just describe myself as a very hungry and ambitious human being. I mean, it's very kind of people to say talented or multi-talented, but honestly speaking, I don't think I'm talented. Yeah, I could never like really accept that I was a talented person. You know, some people are naturally talented. Naturally, they just have so much going on. They're just gifted with things. I think in my case, I had to work very hard to do whatever I am doing or would be doing. I'm not a very eloquent speaker. I have a little bit of speech deficiency. Every few words, I end up stumbling on my words and all. So it took quite some effort to become a host, to go into the hosting industry. Acting wise,
And you won a
I
lot of
didn't have
awards
the
too.
not a lot, one, two here and a few few awards. As an actor, I had a big disadvantage as well. I mean, of course, being ambitious, I only wanted to do lead roles and all that. So you imagine the lead roles. You can't see me in person, so you wouldn't know about my physical deficit. I'm not a very big guy. I'm this very small guy standing at 1'7", in short and small size. So physically, that played against me as well. So a lot of things I had to make up for it. So I won't really say I'm very talented, but yeah, I put in a lot of hard work because I'm ambitious.
Hard work.
So that's one thing I'll probably tell people. I don't know whether I'm an actor, a host, a director or not, but I would like to be all of these, and I'm putting in my best effort to be all of these. I'm very hungry.
And that's Vishnu being humble.
We can see that he is
That's Vishnu being
definitely.
true.
So tell us, Indras, being born and brought up in Singapore, what kind of a personality does that lead into as an artist? What skills have you
Um,
picked up from the Tamil community there? Yeah. How close is the Tamil community there, or the Indian diaspora for that matter?
we are so Indians that actually when we went to India, people there were quite surprised to see us that our Tamil is even more fluent than theirs. That we can
I
actually
was
talk
surprised
in complete,
of you.
you know, yeah,
Yes.
we can talk Tamil so fluently without even a single English word in between. But they couldn't do that. When we speak to them in Tamil, they end up speaking to us in English. And they are surprised that we are so fluent in Tamil and that we are so cultural that we can actually in our Indian costumes. I mean, having born in Singapore, I've never thought that I went, out of touch of my Indian culture. We celebrate every other festivals here in Singapore, from Pongal to Varsha Barappu, New Year to Deepavali to you name it not, Vinayagar Sadurthi or everything. You see, so we didn't realize that the other ones around the world are not that fortunate as us until I started traveling. I realized that, we're very fortunate here in Singapore that each of us, every other Singaporean, being foreign, you are able to actually stay in touch with your culture. If it is a Malay, they are very much also cultural. If they are Chinese, they speak their mother language. They are very much cultural. Indians are the same. You see, among the Indian, the Tamils are the most more here, but they are also Telugu speaking Malayalis, and all of them celebrate their festives, and so it's very much easy for me to be in the TV as well because my Tamil is very fluent.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So have you tried your hands at getting into the Indian Tamil industry?
Nah, that's not something I really wanted to. I mean, I've been quite busy here, and no, I wouldn't want to leave Singapore. And I'm sure there are many people in India
Definitely,
who
but
want to get into the
your
industry. It's
fans
really
would really love
competitive.
to. Yeah, true, but your fans would love to see you here as well. I think we are looking forward to it.
Yes, Blood, your number one fan here. Go for it.
Vishnu had the opportunity to be
So
in Vijay
Vishnu,
TV.
yes, in fact, I was just going to ask him about that. How has your experience been with Vijay TV and Super Singer?
It was a beautiful experience. It was eye-opening and it was a lovely experience. The exposure is fantastic. And yeah, I think there was a lot of myth busting as well. A lot of things that we believe are not the same way there. Like how it's always told to us that Indian celebrities have their nose up in the air and all that. I had the privilege of meeting quite a few in the industry, not a lot of the actors, but more on the music
Mm.
industry, and they were all very very nice people. Thankfully, I actually had the opportunity to meet legends like S.P. Balasubramanian sir, Chitra Ma, Manoji, and quite a few people there. Most of them are sweethearts. They're very very nice people, and you also realize that there are so many talents there. So I'm really grateful for the opportunity that I got there because you're talking about a country of 1.2, 1.3 billion people. You're talking about 100 million Tamilians alone in that state. So your job as an anchor in the television station, probably another 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 people want to do that. So I think I'm very, very grateful to have gotten that opportunity. And it just so happened that for practical reasons, I couldn't stay there very long. I was doing Vijay for about close to 2 years, 1.5 years. I had to come back for some reasons. But if the opportunity allows, I hope someday I go back there again. And of course, going back there is the next step should be if there's any possibility at all, cinema, because that's one reason, one of the
Definitely.
smaller reasons that I came back. Because if it was just about anchoring, hosting, that's what I'm doing here as
Mm,
well. Of course, the field is bigger, the arena is bigger, but to feed the soul, I think I would rather do something for my community, my people here, uh, who would
mhm,
need me more than
mm,
in India. So if there's any opportunity at all, I hope it goes to a next level cinema. That too, because
mm,
I want someone from here, from Singapore, to go there and hold our fly our flag there, saying that someone from
mm.
Singapore made it into the big screen of Tamil.
Yeah, we look forward to both of you. I think you have the right skill set as well. You speak so fluently, both of you, multi-talented. I think we would love to see you on this side as well.
Inshallah.
So, Indra, tell us of all the characters that you played. Tell us about a character that was close to your heart, and you would always look back and say, "Okay, that's something I gave my more than 100%, and I love to do it again."
Oh wow. Um, I can think of three characters actually, but of course, of which Iruvar was really close to my heart. The one that we were actually speaking about.
Mm,
It's a very very challenging character. One of the reasons why I say that I think it grew me as a better artist, as a better actress, because of the dedication it required. We used to shoot for 18 hours, 19 hours without sleep. It was tiring. It was really tiring. Most of the time, I'll be actually emoting to myself alone in the camera. So it was really challenging. One of the most unforgettable ones. And the one that is on Z right now, Uire. Another character was also
mm,
Ramya from Palli Pogade. These three characters really were difficult, the most difficult roles that I've ever played, challenging ones. And after playing such characters, you look forward to more challenging ones.
mm.
So yeah,
So, what character to be cast in next?
sorry.
What character are you looking forward to, if at all given an opportunity? What is your dream
Okay, next
character?
one. So far, I've never played a mafia, a gangster, something like that would be good. I've
I'm doing that
never
all
got
the
to
time.
play all in this 14 years. I've never gotten to play such a character. I've never. So that would be really interesting.
Mm.
I've even done psychotic roles.
So, I hope the show put some light on that desires. Definitely wish you all the best. Yeah. And Vishnu, over to you. Please tell us about some
Yes.
characters that you have very close affinity toward, that you've really loved, and what other characters you're looking forward to. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Big question. um, okay. I know this may sound cliche or maybe like the textbook answer, but honestly, every character I take, I try my best to try my own, try to give some form of input to it. I try ownership over the character. So I usually design what the character is going to wear, how the character talks, and all that. So so much so that sometimes even directors would be like, "Hey, I created this character. How come this guy is telling me this is how the character will talk and he won't talk?" So yeah, I end up doing that. Sometimes I'll just yeah take ownership over that character and give my best input into that. But that said, yes, there are a few characters will always be very close to my heart. And first, starting off with is my movie character, Guru Shetram, because of course, for any actor, especially small screen actors in Singapore, it's a huge thing to be on big screen and to be given the lead role. So that's something that will always be very, very close to my heart, very important to me. Prakash, the character's name was Prakash from Guru Shetram, and it so happened that it
Mm,
was also one of my first few roles. Like I had not done
mm.
much television dramas before that, so first main role I think was Prakash from Guru Shetram. So that's a very important role. And another one is Nanda from Uruvar. So that got me my first acting award. It's something and there are a few other quirky characters that I enjoyed doing. There was this drama, Yar 2 and Yar 3. I did this
Yes.
very mischievous character in Yar 2. So I had to go bald for it, and I was this gambler in Yar 2.
Wow.
So that was something out of the norm. We tried changing the voice and tried sounding like rogue. That's one role I enjoyed. And my latest starring role was in Yar 3, Jana. That was another one I enjoyed doing because he was, at the end of the drama, he was a very serious character, a man who stood for his principles. And that's something I enjoy doing. And I'm still not fully out of it. I think that's where this hair and beard and all that came from.
He
I don't
decided to
walk
keep
around
it.
on a normal day with
Decided to
all
keep
this.
the look after that.
Yeah, a few roles like this are very special. Yeah, future roles. I think it's been quite some time of doing, either negative roles or positive roles. Nice guys who have a negative touch to it, or so it's like the angry young man with a heart of gold kind of thing. So it's been some time since I did a clean cut role. So one thing that I've been openly and shamelessly asking for is I want to do a police officer role. So I hope someone is listening to that.
Wow.
So I promised to shave and cut my hair. So either that or after time I would like to go back to the romance genre. It's been some time since I did anything in the romance genre. So either a police officer role or a lover boy role, and I promise to shave. Yep.
Yeah, we would love to see you as a clean shaved, handsome Vishnu as well. Yeah.
Thank you. She just
So
low-key told
Indra,
me that
tell
I
us
look
about
ugly.
some. Yeah, we did see the pictures. I think you
That's
look
kidding.
altogether different. Yeah. So
Yeah,
Indra,
it's
tell
going
us
off.
about
This is my
Sundaram
lockdown
Pinner.
look.
Sundaram
Sorry, I think the
Right.
lag is.
Pinner.
Exactly.
Yeah. So one of our viewers have wished you, they're a fan and they say they loved your acting in Sundaram Kudumbathinar. Tell us about that.
Oh wow, Sundaram Kudumbathinar. Yeah, that's another character which was close to my heart. A daughter, a wife, a mother, who juggles everything. And I will actually get my mom married off to someone. My mom would be a divorcee, and I will actually get her married. Oh yeah, and Vishnu was my brother in it. He was my younger brother in it.
Wow, you guys go way long back.
We have done, yeah. Yeah. He was my brother. I will have another sister. Two difficult, spoiled brats of the family. Actually, they would be, and I will have to juggle them as a bigger sister, and also take care of my mom, get her married off. Because she'll be struggling to bring us up. It's a family story, and I understand why it actually stayed in the heart of the fans because it was a very good storyline. Another challenging character that I did. I have to thank Veer for that.
Hmm.
I would say that we are actually given the liberty of characterizing ourselves, per se the look or how the character actually behaves or talk. We have the liberty of suggesting and bringing in small aspects to our roles here in Singapore. So, which is a good thing. We are able to explore more. You see. So yeah, one of my favorite roles as well.
Okay. So tell us, Vishnu, how competitive is the Singapore entertainment industry to make the cut for an entire newbie who has no background whatsoever?
Okay, competitive it is. Before that, I'll just make a quick quip on Sundaram Kudumbathinar. That's another project that I enjoyed working with Indra. So I think that was one of our first. Oh no, Ria came before that. But this one we were playing brother and sister.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of close moments and all that. So that was one more character and drama that I enjoyed a lot. Yep. And so, okay, how competitive the Singapore industry? I would say it is very competitive because one, it's a small country with a
Mm,
very small industry, but which is watched by a lot
mm,
of people. But at the same time, you
mm,
see, there are so many buts along with it. So, as much as it's a small industry, a lot of people want a share of the pie. A lot of
mm,
artists, there are a lot of talented people that I have to agree with. A lot of talented people. So sometimes it's very difficult for everyone to get an opportunity. So in that sense, yes,
mm,
it is very competitive. And also the number dynamics of it is very different. Like for example, as I mentioned, like in Tamil Nadu, there are 100 million Tamilians, and who are the main artists on screen? About 200 people, 300 people around there. In Singapore, we have lesser number. We have about what 700,000 Indians, out of which about 400,000 are Tamil speaking, and we have the same
mm.
number of almost the same number of main artists, at least about 150 of them. So you see, the
Wow.
our population is lower, but the amount of people who want to be performing is bigger. So that makes it very, very competitive. And general public expectations as well. I don't know why. This is one thing that very commonly happens in Singapore. I don't see it in most other countries, where a section of the audience is always like asking, why is it always the same faces? We want new artists. So that's one question. That's one question. I don't know.
Okay.
It either irks me or it just amuses me. Because like as
Yeah.
I was saying, you have been. I'm not saying we are Rajini or Kamal or anything, but you have been seeing Kamal Hassan for the past 6 years, Rajini for the past 45 years. No one says, hey, we've been seeing them for so long, ask them to go back. So I don't know why is the case here where they are like, oh, why is it always the same faces? I think people here have got to understand that it's a job as well. For people who are performing, it is also a job. It's not,
Mm,
you can appear for 5, 10 years, then your time limit is out, you have expired, and you should go and do something else.
mm,
Our passion is something that would
mm,
last a lifetime. So if
mm,
the right talent is there, if your language is there, you can come here and make it. We have seen a lot of new talents who came in and who are doing very well for themselves. It's whether you have what it takes. Very, very importantly, more than talent, you need the hard work and the practice for it.
mm,
And even more
mm,
importantly, there's predominantly Tamil channel here. So you need the language. தமிழ் பேச வரலன்னா இங்க
mm.
தமிழ் சேனல்ல வாய்ப்பு கிடைக்கலையேன்னு சொல்ல. That's the bottom line.
Uh, so I think it's more competitive there than non-speaking Tamil speaking artists make it through the Tamil industry.
Sorry, I didn't catch
So
that.
tell us, Indra. No, I was just mentioning that it's quite competitive as well because here in the Tamil industry there are non-speaking artists who make it through successfully. So, but out there in Singapore, it's such a close network. You have to have all the skills necessary. Everyone wants the share of the pie, so it's quite competitive. Yeah.
Because over
Yes.
So
there,
in
most of the programs are actually being dubbed. Am I right to say that?
dub, yeah, okay, okay,
But the program here are all live recorded. It's live
live
recording,
recorded,
so there's
yes.
no dubbing over here.
Mm, mm, mm,
Mm.
mm.
That's the reason why
Oh, we didn't
Tamil
know
needs to
that. That's
be
okay.
yep.
Okay,
All of
So
our
yeah,
serials and our
that's a
programs, everything is live recorded. There's no dubbing over here in
mm,
Singapore.
mm, mm. Okay.
yep, that's a very
So,
important thing. So it's all live sound. So you want to perform here, being the lingua franca for Indians here, you have to have that command in Tamil, at least a minimum command in Tamil
mm,
for you to succeed here
mm,
in the industry. So that's one thing. If anybody wants to
mm.
come into the industry, please make sure you know that the language is a very important part of it. And you can't say, "Hey, how come we don't get opportunity?"
So, what are the languages you both know? Over to you, Indra. What are the languages do you know?
Tamil, English, and Malay.
Oh, lovely. Have you tried projects in Malay?
Oh yes, I have done. I have done Malay projects. One of them was Celup. I was a Indian lady who got married to a Malay guy. So it was in Malay.
Mm,
Yeah. So that was one of the long forms that I did for Malay.
mm, mm, mm. And
It's
yourself,
quite
Vishnu?
here.
What are the
Interracial
languages?
marriages. So that story was based on that.
Oh, okay. Over to you, Vishnu.
Yep.
What are the languages do you speak?
I told you I'm not that talented. I only know two languages, English and Tamil. I just try to make the best out of both of those languages. வேற எதுவும் தெரியாது.
So let's hear a heart out. Like, please speak in Tamil. It's so lovely to hear you both speak in Tamil. Indra, you have a message to your mom that you could
கேட்கலாம்.
convey in Tamil?
Oh, my mother. Amma, I love you
உங்க
very
அம்மாக்கு
much.
yes.
அம்மா நன்றி. அம்மா வந்து ஞாயிற்றுக்கிழமை வீட்ல வந்து கோழி சமையல் செஞ்சிருக்காங்க. அப்புறமேல சாப்பிடணும். கறிக்கு நன்றி.
And you, Vishnu, do you
Oh,
have
now
a
that I'm
message to our
speaking in
viewers
Tamil,
in
right?
Tamil, maybe? Yes.
Sure. Actually, firstly, yeah, தமிழர்கள், அதாவது சிங்கப்பூர்ல மட்டும் இல்ல,
Yeah.
சவுத் ஆப்பிரிக்கா வாழ் தமிழ் மக்கள், தமிழ் நெஞ்சங்களுக்கு எங்களுடைய வணக்கங்கள். சௌக்கியமா இருக்கீங்க அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறோம். அங்க வந்து இந்த மாதிரி தமிழ் நிகழ்ச்சிகள் போறது எங்களுக்கு வந்து ரொம்ப விஷயம். அண்ட் தொடர்ந்து உலகத்துல இருக்கிற தமிழ் நெஞ்சங்கள், சமுதாயங்கள், தமிழ்னு சொல்ல முடியாது, உங்களோட பேரே வந்து சவுத் ஆப்பிரிக்கன் தெலுங்கு கம்யூனிட்டி. ஸோ தமிழ்னு நம்மள வந்து ஒரு குறுகிய வட்டமா அமைச்சிக்க தேவையில்ல. உலகத்துல இருக்கிற இந்தியன் டயஸ்போராஸ், இந்திய சமூகங்கள் எல்லாருமே இந்த மாதிரி இணையணும், இணைஞ்சி நம்மளுக்கு பகிர்ந்துக்கணும் அப்படின்னு ரொம்ப ஆசையா இருக்கு. அதே மாதிரி நான் ஒரு தமிழ் வெறியன் என்றால் இதே மாதிரி தமிழ் பேசுற எல்லாரோடையும் உலகத்துல மூளைகள்ல இருக்கீங்க அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறேன். எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு சூப்பர் சிங்கர் பண்ணும்போது யூஎஸ், கனடா, ஆஸ்திரேலியா இங்க இருக்கிறவங்க எல்லாம் வந்து ரெக்கனைஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஸோ அங்கேயும் நிறைய தமிழ் வாழ் மக்கள் நினைக்கிறேன். நாம எல்லாம் வந்து ஒன்று கூடுற நேரம் வந்துகிட்டு இருக்கு. ஸோ சோஷியல் மீடியா ஹஸ் மீட் த வேர்ல்ட் ஸ்மால் குளோபலைசேஷன். ஸோ அந்த வகையில ஆல் கெட்டிங் மச் க்ளோசர். வி ஷுட் பி யுனைடெட். அது வந்து எல்லாருக்கும் பொதுவா. அண்ட் லவன்யா, thank you for mentioning about Indra's mother, because I have another personal message as well. It வந்து it's not very often that I get to speak about this person. I put this interview on a watch party on my Facebook. So live இப்போ வந்து watch partyல போயிட்டு இருக்கு. And I was just running through the comments. That's what I'm looking at the site. I'm just looking at my phone, running through if anyone is sending comments. I actually got a hi and some wishes from my dad. My father actually sent some wishes.
Wow.
So,
Anand. Mr. Anand.
Yes, Vishnu M. Anandல இருக்கிற M நிறைய பேருக்கு தெரியும். மல்லிகா, that's the one I commonly talk about. அந்த ஆனந்த் வந்து is like a mystery figure in my life. So பல பேருக்கு தெரியாது. He has actually sent a wish for both of us, blood. So Ananda Krishnan Jayaraman, my dad, well wishes and more success to you both. Naina, thank you for watching. I know you're watching a lot of my programs. Papa அடிக்கடி பேச வாய்ப்பு கிடைக்காது. We barely get the chance to talk. Maybe on his birthday I wish him, on my birthday he wishes me. So I'm glad that you have been following up and watching my stuff and all that. Thank you for the wishes. Nainanda Kuprade, I think the South African Telugu community will relate to this one. So thank you, Naina.
Yeah, definitely.
Wishes to you too. நீங்களுமா மனவாள?
Thank you, uncle.
Okay. So on behalf of the SATC community, we would like to convey our condolences to the Indian movie actor Sushant Singh Rajput, who had committed suicide a few hours back. So with deep condolences, we would like to give strength. Yes. I'm not sure if you've seen his movie. Yeah, the one who acted in Dhoni film. Yeah.
and
Oh, dear.
drive and all.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
Kai Poche. Yeah.
yeah. I really like the guy. When was this? It just
That's
happened.
Mm.
sad. How-
Just
Yep, just a
few
friend, she
hours
said.
back. Yeah.
What's up with 2020? Oh
Shock.
my God.
So, being in the
Okay,
industry, how
this
do
is
you
really bad.
look at things like this?
It's
Someone
sad.
who's with
It's
you,
really,
it's very sad. Yeah.
and that too, suicide. It's really sad. Depression is one thing that people, don't talk about, but if when is one is depressed, please do talk out to others. There's always help around, but it's
Reach
just
out
us
for
who don't
help.
see it.
Definitely.
Yes, we are not
Exactly.
alone. We are never alone, you know. And
Mm.
never be ashamed of yourself for being. I mean, people do have downs and falls.
Mm.
Never be ashamed of being upset, depressed, or things taking a toll down. No.
It's quite depressing. So, how do you derive your motivations in times of lockdown like this? I mean, you have to keep yourself positive and energized through this crisis. So, what do you do? Maybe you could help the viewers or who's going through it get positivity out of their life. Yeah. Vishnu?
Okay, so maybe I can share a very small story,
Mm.
right? Okay, something that I
Yes, go
actually
ahead.
read some time back. So this very famous motivational speaker had an airtime on radio, and his topic for the day was actually loneliness. I think I've actually shared this story with Vishnu. You see, because most of us think that we are lonely, and we always tend to compare ourselves with someone else and think that their life is so much better than ours, that I'm one who's going through this phase. I'm upset, things are not right, I'm lonely, and there's no one for me to talk to. So his topic was about loneliness. Actually asked the viewers to write in and share with
Mm.
him on the loneliest
Mm.
times about his life, the loneliest times. So there were a couple of them who wrote in, and he actually chose out a few and read it to the listeners on the radio. One person wrote in, the person is married with children, a very busy day. So she actually wrote that in the daytime when she takes care of her husband, the children, send them off to school and work, at night when she is seated alone, that's when she feels the most loneliest, because there's no one to listen to her
Mm.
or to take care of her own
Mm.
needs. And this is someone who's happily married. All right. So a very
Mm.
successful single lady wrote in to say that throughout the weekdays, she won't feel lonely. She'll be very busy. She earns very well. She's a very highly driven person and all. But during the weekends, when everyone are busy with their own family, that's when she will feel lonely. So this is a single person.
Mm.
She envies those with families,
Mm.
right? So another person said that a divorcee said that she would take care of the children over the weekdays, but during the weekends when the children to the ex's house, that's when she will feel very lonely. Another married person wrote in to say when the spouse doesn't listen to them or understand what they are going through, cannot comprehend their mindset, that's when they would feel the loneliest. A very, very famous
Mm.
person who's a high flyer, parties and all, a person with such a lifestyle wrote in that when they go for functions, and even though the place is full of faces that they are really familiar with, even though they are very famous, but when they cannot connect to a single person in that room, that's when they feel the loneliest, because they are not able to connect with anyone in the party, even though they know everyone else.
Mm.
So, what you know from this story is loneliness is something that everyone actually deals with. Even if you are married, if you are not, if you are a high flyer, if you are an ambition person, a career person, everyone deals with it. Everyone has to face it. It's actually up to your individual on how they're supposed to manage it or deal with it. So, yep.
Yeah, definitely that's true, Indra. Specifically in this era of social media, I mean, you might have a lot of friends in your social media handles, but awareness is something everyone experiences. I think it's just gotten heightened during the current situation in the world that's going on right now, pushing people to the extreme end. But I think we have to help each other. There are people around who you can seek help with. So I think that goes a long way. We have to reflect on being humans. So there is anyone who can help you out of the situation. So I'm sorry to disappoint you, and you seem very disturbed. But yeah, do you want to say a few
No,
words?
that's fine. Vishnu?
Yeah, I think that's really terrible news here at this point. I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to be lively and all at this point of time, but that's really bad news. It's probably the worst news I've heard all week long or all month long. I mean, I really like Sushant Singh Rajput as an actor, and
Mm,
recently the most recent work of his that I watched was his Netflix movie Pride. The Netflix movie received a lot of flack and all that, but I thought his performance was good. And I
mm,
mean, truth to be told, I was actually looking at the guy on screen and thinking, "Wow, what a good-looking dude." I'm straight, by the way.
mm,
Uh, wow, like everything was about him was like perfect. Such a good-looking face, nice hair. He's so well dressed, and he looks perfect beside Jacqueline Fernandez in those swimming shots and all that. I was actually like pretty much envying him. Wow, great, this guy is gonna go places,
mm,
and this happens. I mean, just proves one thing. Life is so fragile, and we don't know
mm,
what any person is going through. Like for a small-time Singapore actor with a very small base here, where only a few 100,000 people population. For me, Sushant Singh Rajput is a big thing. Wow, he has such a base in Bollywood. He's in such a big industry. He does big stuff and all that. And today, I don't know what disappointment he has. He takes his life. And I think
mm,
that's one thing we all got to realize. No matter how big people are, how successful they are, they have their own personal problems, and sometimes it becomes a little too much to bear. And we can't
Yeah.
easily say, "Oh, this person has this and that, and this person has everything." So they are leading a
mm,
better life than us. He must have that amount of that kind of a problem that made him end his life, despite his popularity, his stardom, whatnot.
mm.
I think we should just
So
treasure
always
the
be
life
kind to
we have.
others.
Yeah, yeah. As I said, I really wouldn't see any reason for someone like that
For
to
him
commit
to do
suicide. The guy
this.
had everything. Yeah, would die to be in his
Mm,
place or what? That kind of looks, that kind of physique, and
mm.
in such a big industry, making it big. He played Dhoni. Dhoni is like your biggest cricket hero in India,
Yes.
and his
Yeah.
Vyomkesh Bakshi was a huge hit as well. So having everything,
Mm,
I think it all boils down to what we have in here. So that's one thing I would like to tell
mm,
the audience as well. Sometimes we are very, mean to people who actually appear on screen. We think they don't see our comments. We think they lead such a fantastic life. So audience can be mean. They just say anything about artists,
mm,
actors, and all that. This person is dead. This and so many nasty things to say. If a life is gone like that,
mm,
would you be able to bring it back? So let's just be mindful of what we say on social media,
mm.
no matter how big or how
True.
100%.
popular anyone is.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Okay. Uh, I think we've had a,
And Sushant Singh
time
Rajput,
goes
wherever
on.
you
We've
are,
had
yeah,
a,
I'm a fan, man.
we
I'm
all
sorry,
are.
bro.
We'll be terribly missed, I'm sure. Yeah. So thank you,
Sorry, you were
Indra,
saying.
and thank you, Vishnu, for taking your time, your busy schedule. I know we both were very busy, and you have made a very kind request come true. So we had an amazing show with you, knowing you both. Your side of the entertainment industry was overwhelming for us. We look forward to seeing you both in the Indian cinema industry as well, be it Telugu or Tamil. We look forward to it, and all the very best to both of you. Do you have anything to say to our audiences?
Thanks for having us. And well, Indians are all around the world. So wherever you are, be always an Indian and be proud to say that you're an Indian.
And Vishnu?
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. நீங்களாம் சொல்லிதான் தெரியும். When you all said there is a South African Indian community and they actually watching us, they know us and all that. Thank you for your support all the way from there. Whoever has been watching and whoever has been listening to us. Um, I think as Indians, though India is the highest movie producing industry in the world, um, our Indian content is across the world right now in different countries. I'm sure there's South African content being created, content in US, UK, Singapore, Malaysia. So let's start looking at content from everywhere in the world. Today we all want to go and make it in the Indian industry. There will be one day where the Indian industry is not concentrated in India alone. It's worldwide, and we'll all be working with each other. So let's work towards that. Let's not make going to the Indian industry our benchmark. Let's making the Indian industry worldwide our bench. Just like how English content is made all around the world. Indian content, Tamil content can be made all around the world, and let's do this together as worldwide. உலக தமிழர்களாக உலக இந்தியர்களாக இதை செய்வோம்.
Kandipa. We'd like to thank the team behind the Live from Living Room show.
Hi, name me Jyoti. Please do subscribe GNN channel.